Hey, welcome back, Lelanders, to a new episode of Clone Evolution. Sorry, today is a bit of a somber note. We got news that one of our clan members or guild members died in real life. As far as I know, from what I understand, is his brother logged into his account on his Discord to let everyone know that he won't be back because he died. So I don't know, unless he got hacked and someone's paying a prank on him, but that'd be a pretty mean prank to play. And he did mention that he was having some health issues, so it does seem to be the case as far as I know. So a little bit of moment of silence for him, and I'll just stop talking and do some more of the stuff of the game while we let some silence go. Sad day for sure. Ugh, sorry, can't even stay awake with a moment of silence. No, it's been a long day. I can't remember. I think I got close to 10 kilometers walked, or maybe 20. Just a lot of stuff in my backyard, getting everything ready for today. It was one of my mom's friend's birthdays, and we had an outdoor gathering for her. Not very many people, but a lot of walking to get ready. Alright, we got some Elizabeth frags. Now I was thinking it's kind of sad, really, like, not only am I getting close to beating the game and wrapping it up, but it's like, our friends list, a lot of other people have quit the game. Almost all of our friends are gone. Suki's gone. Who is it? Ninja's gone. And I'm pretty sure all of them aren't coming back. For a while I tried to maintain hope that maybe they would come back, but no, even Shelly's gone now too. And Clasher looks like he's gone. Tony looks like he might be gone, but he could be coming back. It's only been 5 days. And it's really hard to connect with new friends in the game because everyone else who's joining, no offense, is like just starting the game. So there's really nothing we have in common with new players. That's one thing I don't like about Clone Evolution, is if you know someone in Clone Evolution who's like a higher level than you, you can guarantee that you will never catch up to them. So it's like whoever you wanted to play Clone Evolution with, unless you're the same level as them, you really can't play it with them. So I don't know, if the makers of Clone Evolution wanted to improve the game, that's one way they should do it, is find a way for people that just started the game to actually have fun playing against each other or with each other. Well, I mean, I'm sure that they don't really care about that feature, but it just seems so weird. Like, you tell one of your friends, like, hey, I like to play this game, Clone Evolution. He's like, oh, really? I'll play it and see if I can play it with you. Then you have to break the news to him. It's like, sorry man, when you start playing the game, it takes so long to level up that you will never play the game with me. It's like you're nowhere near my level and you never will be. There is no catch-up mechanic in this game, unless you pay shitloads of money, I guess. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, you know how I talked about Clone Evolution, how all the players I was getting, like by the time I got Sword God, he was so useless I couldn't use him. That's what I started to think. It's like as soon as I finally got my red team that I've been dying to make, it's pretty much when I'm going to quit the game. I shouldn't say I'm going to quit the game, but I'll probably just play it once a week instead of daily. We'll see. But for the time being, won't chat too much about quitting the game. Let's try to enjoy the game while I'm still playing it. No, it was a good run. When you think about it, played it every day for almost, well, it'll come close to about 2 years and then I'll wrap it up. It's about, what, year and a half, somewhere in between there right now. No, and it's not really so sad because I'm so swamped with other material for my YouTube channel that realistically I do need to wrap up the Clone Evolution game content. Even though it is the biggest point of like active viewers on my channel right now, so really, if once I drop Clone Evolution, I'm going to have to start from scratch and start getting more viewers again. Now, I appreciate everyone who's been coming along for the Clone Evolution ride, and hopefully you want to check out some other content. I'll try to make more video game stuff, travel vlogs, keep the YouTube stuff going. It is pretty fun to make it. Oh yeah, and that's what I was thinking. Today's episode will be the second last day with no Freya. Why? Because we're getting close to actually beating it and getting the bounty thing to win these. Oh fuck, no it isn't the second last day. Oh wait, 6, 8, oh yeah, 2, maybe it is. 8, 16, yeah, 16 plus 24 is 40, right? So 2 days from now we should have enough to get Freya. Unless we run out of bullets. I was kind of thinking that today was a bit of a somber day. I did dream about almost dying in a plane crash. And the only reason I was thinking I was going to survive is because Mel Gibson was on the plane with this. I didn't check to see if Mel was on the news today. Break open. No, I was feeding my uncle today and I was talking to him about how he used to be able to do stuff. And it was pretty sad, right? So I was like, dear God, man. It's like taking care of him is like really hard emotionally these days. Just seeing how much he's degraded and even talking to him about what he liked he used to do. It's pretty crazy because it was just like a year or two ago that he still loved doing stuff and now he's like fucked where he can't even move his body. Really wish the doctors could do something for him. No, I don't really think he's even able to hold like a baby's bottle to feed himself a drink. Like before, like, oh, he couldn't hold the glass anymore, so we're like, oh, we're going to change him over to a baby's bottle so at least he could use that, but I don't think he's at that point anymore either. His arms really aren't moving. No, and I'm starting to see like other members of my family going through some rough times too, and it's like, oh, you can't help but wonder when you see everyone in your family die so young, is it going to happen to you too, right? But I try to remain optimistic. Hopefully it's not a hereditary thing. Because if it was, I'd have like less than 20 years. Probably be looking at like 12, 15. But you never know. Life is so uncertain. Medical cures can come around the corner at any time. You never really know. Alright, so a vampire. Hey, Augusto, how's it going, man? No, sorry, today's a bit of a somber note. We heard about one of the guild members dying in real life, so it's kind of a downer, but hey, you gotta go on with life, right? That's how I try to think. With all the people that I know dying lately, it's like I'm starting to look at life as more of a cycle. Instead of getting so upset about people dying, it's like you just sort of realize that's how life works, right? We always try to imagine that people are going to live forever, but that's not really what happens. The fairy tale's as good as it lasts. Yeah, let's break this shit open. Robbing chests doesn't cheer me up. I don't know what will. Yeah, let's get some purple frags. Hey, Joel. Hey, he's from Puerto Rico. Hey, welcome to the show. No, man, I'd love to visit Puerto Rico one day. When you live in Canada, anywhere warm sounds amazing. Alright, let's go with robbing the robots. Now, maybe I'll check the gravity wells around Puerto Rico today, see what they're looking like. Once it's booted up, I'll check it out. No, my geography's still pretty bad, so I'll have to type it in to make sure I get it right. If anyone's wondering, I'm drinking tonight some homemade pop without carbonation, just the syrup or whatever. So I poured a tiny bit in, 0 calories. So I'm drinking like 0 calorie artificial root beer. It's actually quite tasty. I don't really need much to enjoy it. I was gonna drink some hard liquor. I was like, fuck man, it's already like 1 in the morning. Shouldn't start drinking at this time. You just like get drunk and pass out right away. Alright, so before we begin this next battle, let's see what Puerto Rico is looking like. Puerto. There we go. Puerto Rico. Now I've been watching the clouds lately. I've heard of, oh shit, yeah, I was gonna say, is it near Dominican? No, a friend of mine is actually visiting the Turks or Caicos Islands. She researches ancient mysteries and giants, so she's checking out the islands. I think her daughter was even born on Aruba, or I guess Aruba is part of that. I can't remember. Cuba, Dominican, Jamaica, Puerto Rico. Yeah, my brother's actually visited the islands of, what did he say, Saint Martin? So he's been to Saint Martin before. Looking for it, can't see it yet. Maybe it was one of these ones. I could have swore he said it was close to Haiti. Anyways, let's check out the clouds, see how they've been doing. I checked them out earlier this morning, so yeah, that gravity well's got decent formation. That one's got decent formation. I heard that the South American poles are fucking going wild right now, where they're getting some of the coldest winters ever on record. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Not too much formation there. A little bit there. Now I figured that was happening because normally when one place is really hot, another place is extra cold. It's always balancing out somewhere. The media likes to always try to make everything one-sided, and they'll be like, holy shit, it's so hot all the time. It's like, no, it's not. When it's hot one place, it's fucking cold somewhere else. Don't fucking make up this bullshit. Now, I feel bad for everyone going through the heat waves. Even my cousin was messaging saying that the heat waves she's going through right now are really bad too. So yeah, shout out to everyone trying to beat the heat. What I say is I usually try to lay in a pool or a bathtub or something if you gotta beat the heat. Yeah, so there's some pretty good wild patterns. I don't see anything too out of the ordinary. Normally you see a lot of gravity well spinnings around the orb points. So that's pretty normal. I know a lot of YouTubers like to look at wild research and it's like, it's catastrophic. It looks pretty normal to me. Wish it was catastrophic. That's why I want to make an exciting show one day. The whole world is going to be destroyed. Not yet. Not as far as I can tell. As far as pole shifts go and everything, that gravity well map shows that the Earth has been relatively the same position for like billions of years. So I'd be very surprised if a pole shift really has occurred in the past or if one's coming. I know some scientists agree with this pole shift idea, but I haven't really seen too much evidence. Just because the continents really haven't moved in so long, so unless they moved and then moved back, that could be what it is. Yeah, like say it moved and then all of a sudden like a million years later it moves back to like the same spot. They would appear like it never moved. Yeah, I'd like to see tropical regions one time. Every time I've ever traveled on vacation and spend lots of money, I always go north. So for one of these days, I gotta go south. Dear God, I've taken trips to places where you can hang out with polar bears. It's a nightmare. Now, I'm one of those people where it's like I don't believe in the idea of going on vacations to spoil yourself with something really nice. Because if you do and you come back, you end up getting a little depressed because you're like, holy shit, man. I just went and enjoyed my life in this tropical island. It was so much better than my life here. And then people are always like, oh, fuck, now I got to go back to my old life. And now it sucks in comparison. But if you go on a vacation somewhere really horrible, like up north, the weather's just treacherous and it's like infested with bugs and animals trying to kill you at every inch. Then you come back to your normal life, you're like, holy shit, man, this place is paradise. It's like compared to that fucking hellhole that I was just visiting. Now that's a vacation. That cheers you up for like years. Like, thank God I don't live up north. I should keep saying that because it's like that's where my future's going. Up north is the only place I can afford to move. And there's a reason. Very cool. Now, I shouldn't make fun of up north so bad. I'm starting to meet a whole bunch of hot babes that live up north, so now it doesn't seem so bad. I was thinking the whole going up north and not knowing anyone, being in isolation, that'd be hell. Alright, should we rob? Yeah, let's rob some, robots. That's what I've noticed when I was watching or reading social media today. So many of my friends and family in Canada that have been under lockdowns for so long, everyone's like, holy shit, we're outside. We're doing all this shit outside. It's amazing. And it's like, yeah, after like 2 years of being under house arrest, like fucking going outside and doing anything seems amazing. And that's why I think our society was kind of fucked before, is we were hardly ever going outside. Like we were under house arrest for like a decade. And then all of a sudden when we went into this lockdown situation, we realized what a mistake it was. We're like, holy fuck, staying inside all the time, it's like such a waste of your life. It's like, I don't care how risky it is outside. It's like, I'd rather die than fucking be stuck sitting inside all day. That's how I often wonder, like people that live in like really harsh parts of Africa and they're like facing malaria, would they like go outside or would they just be like, hey man, I'm gonna die of malaria if I go outside, so I should probably just stay inside all the time. But who knows, even if you can get away from mosquitoes inside. I notice even my house, they get in a lot. Or would you just be like, fuck it, I don't care if I die of malaria today, I'm going outside anyway. Yeah, it must be terrifying too. It's like we always think about the virus here and how terrifying it is, the one we're not allowed to talk about. Like, can you imagine being in parts of the world that have like other more common viruses that are even more deadly? And they face like a greater risk every time they go outside. They've been doing it for like decades, if not centuries. Millennia. Like, I don't know, every time I talk to my friends and family that have moved to different parts of the world that had malaria, each one of them almost died. So I was like, and the most stories of having malaria, it's like nothing to fuck with, right? Like, I'm pretty sure you're like coughing up blood and shit, so it's like, yeah, that's definitely not the type of sickness you want. I can't remember, something blood. Yeah, I think it was coughing in it. Now, that's what I was wondering, the heat wave now, too. We're starting to reach the point, I don't know if anyone else has realized this, but the governments up north in North America, they keep telling everyone that we're switching everything over to electric. Like all of our vehicles, you will not be allowed to use gas to power shit anymore. But the government's going around, and now that there's a heat wave, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, everyone, we really don't have enough electricity. So it's like, we'll all have to cut back, we can't use any. It's like, well, what the fuck? You're just telling us you're going to switch all the goddamn cars over to it. So if we don't have enough as it is, without any of the cars, how the fuck are we supposed to be doing this with cars as well? It's really fucked up. I don't know, it almost seems like the government in Canada is literally trying to destroy our country on purpose. But I don't know. They always say too, like maybe like utter destruction is the only way you'll innovate enough. Like if you burn your country to the ground, it'll force you to find some way to rebuild it. I think that's the Trudeau way. It's like burn the country to the ground, and hopefully someone will fix it after me. Even better. Yeah, you know what's the weirdest thing with Canada Day? I don't know if anyone else noticed it. Because in Canada's history is kind of fucked up, right? Like, yeah, everyone came in, like the Europeans, and conquered North America, made Canada. But we barely kept it at all, right? Like, most of the Europeans, right after we arrived, we started opening up the country, and pretty much like everyone from the whole world just like flood in, right? So it's kind of weird, like all these people from other countries have just recently arrived within like the past decade or two, and they're like going on and on about how what the Europeans did here was so horrible. And I think to myself, well, for God's sakes, man, if the Europeans didn't do this, none of you would even be here. It does seem kind of weird to march up and down the street saying what you guys did was horrible, allowing us all to move here with you. It's such a fucked up situation. I don't know. You know, it kind of makes you laugh at the same time, so it can't be that bad. Just goes to show you like how quick people forget. Like you do one good deed, it's like, what have you done lately? It's like you did open your borders, allow everyone here, but what did you do lately? Yeah. Alright, let's rob the merchant. He needs a good robbing. Alright, let's see if the merchant's selling those fists. If we can get... Oh, he's got the fists. Let's buy them. Just gonna say, if we can get our hands on some fist action, let's do it. Sorry, get your mind out of the gutter. I swear it's the game's fault. I had nothing to do with it. Alright, come on, Suzo. We need some good action here. I think I'm going to speed up these battles, but I want to do a little bit vaping first. It's getting late. I don't have much time to vape. No, my city is the weirdest too, because like it's like I'm starting to get like pictures of what my city looked like in the 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, and it's so funny too because like all the pictures are all consistent, and up until the 1980s, and it's so weird, right? Like it's like our whole city. Like, not to make fun of it, but it was mainly like a lot of German people, right? Like a German city. So all the pictures you see in our like city photographs, like here's City Hall doing this, here's like the park where everyone's hanging out, or here. So you always see like a whole city full of German people. And then all of a sudden in the 1980s, that like changed dramatically to the point where you get to today's photos and there's almost no German people left in the city. Like if there is, like there's so few amounts of them, you almost don't see any. So it's so weird to look at the history book and see like hundreds of years of like all German people living in the city. And then from 1980 till now, it's just gone, everyone. Such a weird thing, right? So I don't know, has anyone else lived in a place like that where it's like you look at your city yearbook and it's like your city had the same population for like centuries, and all of a sudden, like in a decade, everyone's gone. It is like kind of weird in a way. I shouldn't laugh at it because I know some people it's happened in more like bloodshed type ways. That at least we're fortunate that it was just like optional. So we actually opened up our flood our gates and allowed everyone to come in. Yeah, then it's so weird too. You keep hearing people ask, why wasn't your city more diverse before in the media? It's like, well, because no one here was diverse. Who are we going to hire? It's like, why didn't you have more diversity in news reporters? Well, because we'd have to go to other countries to hire them. And then people think of it as so odd now, because when you're here, you would never realize, you would never think that like just a few decades ago there was no one else here. I should say no one, but it was like 1% maybe, or like less, 0.1. Alright, so let's see. Good merchant. Let's see what he's got. Oh yeah, I already checked. Slacking here. No, I was just looking at some pictures today and it was really funny. I think it was 1960s pictures even? Or no, 40s. Maybe that's what it was. No, it was really sad too, like to see the stories of my city from like the 1920s and then see all like the Spanish flu deaths. So they'd be like, here's a picture of a family before and after the Spanish flu. And like half the people are gone. It's like, holy fuck, like all the kids and everything, they lost half their kids. It's like, Jesus. It's like, I think when we compare what we're going through to the whole Spanish flu thing, it's so fucked, right? Because Spanish flu, people lost like half their families. It's like, I don't think we should be comparing what we went through to that, right? Like, I guess I should be more considerate because some people probably did lose half their families, but I don't know. I've asked hundreds of the people I know, and it's extremely rare for anyone to have even heard of someone who's had it, let alone someone, whole family dying. Now, I think in my country, in like Canada, 40 million people, there was 30 that died of the thing we're not allowed to talk about that actually didn't have pre-existing conditions to put them on their deathbed already. So that's really weird. Like 40 million people, and you shut it down for 2 years because 40 or 30 died. 30. I know it's horrible, 30 people dying, but it just seems crazy, right? Like, shouldn't it at least be like 100,000? If you're willing to shut your whole country down and like literally like put like millions of people into poverty. Not to mention how many died from like side effects from like the depression of losing their entire life savings. It's not an easy thing to get over. I know I've gone through it a few times, but that's the one nice thing once you lose a lot. If anyone's ever like, oh fuck, if I lost everything it'd be the end. It's like once you lose everything, it's like kind of puts everything to perspective, because you realize it's like the only thing you really need is your health. As long as you still have that, you can rebuild everything. And everything's so temporary in life that it really just goes in waves, where you get lots and you lose lots, so you gotta hang on for the ride. Don't get too upset about hitting bumps along the way. That's where the crypto ride is getting so wild. So many people have been losing and winning big time. Now I'm thinking one of these days I'm going to get back onto my feet, get my own place again, and it's going to be like fucking heaven. But then I'm starting to think too, last time I got my own place and thought it was going to be heaven, it didn't work out as much as I thought it would. No, because last time I did it, I had to work so much in order to maintain having my own place that I was basically just living at work. The place that I had, I was never home unless I was sleeping. So I was pretty much just paying my whole life to afford a place to sleep. And it was pretty fucked. So I'm like, man, I gotta rebuild my life so that next time I move, I can afford to live there and not be working like non-stop just to afford a place to live. At least balance it out where I get a couple days off a week, maybe even a few more than that. That would be ideal. No, I couldn't believe it, man. Like, I had my own place for, I can't remember, close to a decade. And I didn't have a week off the entire time I lived there. And the one time I tried, I got like 5 days off. I pretty much got fired for it. Now, I just started to demand time off, and my job did not like it because they'd already been used to 9 years of never giving me time off. So then this idea that they had to give me time off, it wasn't really what they were up for. Boom. There we go. Now that's why I'm wondering, like, what's really going to be the next turning point of my YouTube channel after I switched Clone Evolution content and start making more like mainstream friendly material, hopefully. Maybe I'll fail, maybe I'll succeed. Only time will tell. If I had to guess, I have like a 5% chance of succeeding, but damn, that's a way better chance than I've ever had before, so might as well run with it. Who knows, maybe it's really like just a 1% chance, but still, it's pretty good. No, really, like, compare it, like, I don't know if anyone's been to that point where you're working in a factory and you're just standing watching an assembly line, and your life is really just standing and watching a clock tick, and your whole life is going by before your eyes. And then you're like, man, am I ever going to make it big in this situation? Like, no. You can stand in that factory and look at the fucking clock, counting your life down, disappearing before your eyes, and you'll never have a chance. The chance of making it out of there is zero. So that's why I figure, as much as a gamble that YouTube careers are, it's like at least it has that chance of success. Like, there is a chance that you might actually make it big. Get out of the fucking daily grind, succeed, afford enough time off, place to live. There's a chance there. That factory, there's no chance. You might prolong the having to work non-stop to afford your rent. Now, a lot of people might be listening to this and they live in cities where rent hasn't gotten that high, so they're probably lucky then. I know just in my dad's generation, rent was dirt cheap. So it was just one generation where our rent prices collapsed. I know someone was telling me New Zealand was getting like that, but I don't know if it's really true. Because most times I see people's homes in New Zealand, they have like fucking giant like resorts, or not resorts, like a ranch or whatever. So it's like, yeah, if you're living on a ranch, definitely no lack of space there. Yeah, for me today was an exciting day. Oh yeah, I forgot, because I had to wake up and work on my greenhouse a bit. My neighbor wanted some help with one of the fences and the greenhouse was in the way, so I had to wake up, clean up all the greenhouse area, move it. That was quite a bit of work. That's probably what helped get my steps up. Because I was wondering, like, holy fuck, I walked 16 kilometers today? How the hell did I do that? And I forgot. I pretty much just woke up and started working. Yeah, let's do the warp gate. Warp gate! Yeah, I was watching video game news on Pat and Ian's show today. They were talking about the auctions, and they want the auctions to list how many copies of the games exist. So I think that was kind of a weird demand. It's like, how the hell would an auction know how many copies of Super Mario 3 exist? They mentioned how many copies they would have, but it's like, even then, the copies that they had, they might have sold them to a collector that will never resell them. So they really don't know how many are available to resell. So that would be a misleading fact for them to release. Yeah, it was kind of fun. Today, everyone came and tried my chin-up bar. I have my gym set up outside. I was surprised how many people are into using it. Oh yeah, and I set up my disc golf basket, so even my niece and nephew got to try some disc golfing, and man, you could tell my nephew's got my brother's like disc golf style down already, and he's, I don't know how old. Say he's maybe 6. I should ask him. Yeah, so 6 years old, that's a pretty good age to have a good disc golf throw. No, it's still frustrating for them at that age. I know like a lot of kids these days, I shouldn't say a lot, well, most of the ones I've had to look after, they're fucking very short attention spans. Like, you know, kids at our age, we used to have to like wait for shit all the time, so we were always used to like having to wait. Kids these days, that holy shit, 4 bullets. Like, stuff has to be so action-packed, and they don't ever want to wait, because they're used to the YouTube generation, right? Like, fuck, commercials they're lucky if they had to wait like a minute for commercials. They never have to wait for new shows. There's always new shows coming out every day. So if he gives a kid like a boring or semi like waiting activity, it'll seem really boring. Yeah, I still like that. Back in the day, I used to play like sports when I was bored. I don't know how many kids really do that these days. And I was thinking when I was growing up too, Canada changed so much that you'd see road hockey everywhere. Like there's always be kids outside playing road hockey somewhere. Every park you would drive by, there'd be kids playing road hockey. Maybe some culture or some cities still do it, but ours, it's very rare. You don't see any hacky sack, you don't see any road hockey. Parks are empty. And while the kids are staying home, not bothering exercising, getting fat, obesity, diabetes. Story of my life. Now, I've been trying to lose weight lately, but it's not going well today, that's for sure. Fucking managed to eat like a huge barbecue. And it was a birthday cake. So you know you're plowing back cake. It's not a good day for weight loss when... Now I think tomorrow I'm going to get that disc golf game in. I tried to get it in today. It didn't happen. I had so much work to do. By the time I woke up, it was time to start working. Or by the time everyone else woke up. Holy shit, we made it up to 3 likes. Thanks, everyone. Alright, let's get a quick message from the sponsor before I forget.
Today's somber episode is brought to you by Crack. Crack! It'll fuck you up.
Holy shit. Starting to get bad fucking acid reflux. Whatever I ate did not agree. It did not want to be eaten. Yeah, and I think, what was it, Tommy Tallarico's threatening more lawsuits again for this time. He's trying to sue, who was it? One of the reporters that released the information that they found out about the Amico. And they said it looks bad for the company because, I don't know if the stats are true or not, but it's like a cheap cell phone basically. Which is ironic because that's what I put in my video years ago. Well, yeah, I guess like a year and a half ago now or whatever. And people wouldn't believe me. They're like, oh no, it's like a fucking high-end machine. I'm like, man, even Tommy himself, he's telling you. He's like, he's not going to try to beat anyone with graphics. He's like, this is going to be like a low to medium end fucking gaming console. More closer to the low, graphics-wise. But I was thinking it really doesn't matter because if you're running just like simple Flash games, you don't even need a good fucking processor. So why did anyone think it was going to have like a huge fucking processor? It's fucking just like a cheap cell phone. Hey, Noah Gaming Clan, welcome back to the chat. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good weekend. I keep forgetting today's the weekend. I haven't had many work shifts lately, so every day seems like a weekend, or the same day over and over again. Just looking after my uncle nonstop. Oh yeah, the other good news I got is I am going to get a couple shifts coming up at work next week, and lots of exercise ones. I'll be like pushing wheelbarrows just full of shit for whole days on end. And running as fast as I can for like a whole day, pushing as much weight as I can. So it should be really good training. Training for what? Who knows? Maybe I'll get my fight with in the ring with who are those brothers? The Paul brothers. Now, some people would ask, like, would you really fight Jake Paul or who was the other one, Logan Paul? Well, obviously. Would I actually fight them to try to win? Probably not. I would probably just fight not to die. Get paid and get the hell out of there. Now, at first I thought they were pretty shitty boxers, but I have to say, they're definitely reached the point where I'm like, oh fuck. Yeah, you definitely have to be careful you didn't die fighting them. They punched you in the head. It could definitely cause you a serious concussion. That was funny to see Mayweather. Did anyone see Mayweather completely change his tune? It's fucking hilarious. When he was fighting, what was it, Logan Paul? He's like, oh, it doesn't matter. The Paul brothers suck at boxing so bad. He's like, it doesn't matter how much they weigh. I'll fight any of them. So that's what they were saying, or that's what Mayweather said. Then he fought, who was it, Logan Paul? And Logan Paul almost pummeled him. Like, even in the first round, he had him on the ropes and just like hitting him with everything he had. And then after the fight, Mayweather's like, yeah, we're half to weigh the same. He's like, I'm not fighting anyone that weighs more anymore. I was like, yeah, obviously. I don't know where he was getting this idea that some shrimp was going to win just because he was a good boxer. It's like, no, it doesn't matter how good of a boxer the shrimp is. Paul brothers are just going to crush him like an ant. Now, so we'll see what happens with Mayweather. If I was the Paul brothers, I'd be like, oh, what happened to all that talk that weight doesn't matter? Afraid you're going to get your ass whooped now, are you? Nah, you got to hand it to Mayweather, though. He did well. Like, he was fighting a guy like twice his size. So no wonder he realized weight matters now. He's like, holy shit. Fighting someone twice my size was not easy, even if he is an amateur. You know, it would have been impressive if Mayweather actually did good in that fight. Some people actually think he did. I think it was because Paul legitimately blocked for like a round or two. I don't know if he got tired or what it was, but he did have to block at one point, rather than just pummeling. There's like 4 rounds of pummeling and 2 rounds of resting. Yeah, I guess I can take Skype calls too if you want. But what time is it? Oh yeah, we're about an hour in. Oh shit, yeah, it's getting late. It's already after 1. Now I keep thinking it was around midnight, and then I looked over and I'm like, ooh fuck. It's a little bit later than that. Now when I first watched the Paul brothers, I think they were training with Shannon Briggs at the time. And yeah, Shannon Briggs is a good coach, so that's why I was like, okay, if they train with him, maybe they actually got better. And oh yeah, did they ever. That's why I think a lot of people underestimate the Paul brothers too, is they're not as old as me. So they're gonna have a lot easier time learning new shit. Oh, Battlefield 5. I don't know if I've tried that one. Pretty sure not. Yeah, Noah was saying last time he was on the show that he's got some of the slower internet connections being in a rural area, so he's definitely going to take a while to download Battlefield 5. Right, so there we go. We got that whole row. That's 8. We'll check how many we need. If I had to guess, that's 8. So next episode, we'll be able to get 8, and we'll get those Vibram tokens, and we'll buy Freya. So today is literally the last episode that we'll play the game without Freya. So after this episode, it should be Freya no matter what. She'll be in our team. Oh, World War II. Yeah, I never was big into the old World War games. I shouldn't say I hate them, but I kind of like the modern era. I don't like future, and I don't like the past. I usually just like modern. That's why I guess Modern Combat was one of my favorites. Yeah, that fist is so overpriced. Like, you can get way more in the bounty. No, someone was telling me, like I was watching on Pat and Ian's show, that Zelda for Switch, like the game, is apparently going up in value. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. No, they're saying something like Nintendo was making limited edition print runs. So when they release a game, they'll only make so many copies. So once those copies have been sold, apparently you can't get it. But I was like, whatever, you could just download the fucking game. Unless, like, Nintendo, can you really not download the games? Like, who the hell's still buying physical media? Like, I haven't bought a physical media game since, like, fucking PS2, for God's sakes. Some people are still buying physical media. That's pretty wild. I don't know, physical media, it's almost reached the point where it's basically pollution. Like, I'm surprised governments even allow that shit to be made. It's like, really, you can just download it. What the fuck are people still buying physical media for? It's like, oh, if you want to bring it with you, well, I'll just put it on a memory card. Alright, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I don't think it's too bad of an idea. Kind of like how comics used to do that. Comics would do like a limited amount of comics that they would sell. Do scarcity to try to make it seem like it's a good idea to buy them. I'm pretty sure that's what Hot Wheels tried, like the Hot Wheels collectible cars. But they said the market for those, even though they did like limited, was almost worthless. Because they said what happened is like, say your dad collects Hot Wheels, but then your dad has like a stroke or a heart attack, and he has to sell his Hot Wheel collection. All of a sudden, your dad has to sell his Hot Wheel collection, and the only people left are people our age. So like, no one else our age likes Hot Wheels, so all of a sudden his Hot Wheel collection that was worth a lot to him just like dropped dramatically in price because the next generation doesn't give a shit about Hot Wheels. So that's what I was thinking, like, who's really going to give a shit about Nintendo Switch games like 10 years from now? Maybe someone. I'm pretty sure Nintendo Switch will be like a distant memory by then. We'll be playing like holograms and shit, so maybe people will still want copies of Zelda. Or Mario. I don't know, for me, Zelda, I think when did I played it for NES. I think, I played the Super Nintendo one. I like that one a fair bit. Once it got to Nintendo 64, it was already reaching the point where it's like, it's a little bit more complex than I'm really willing to invest time into. I think, that's what happened to me was when I aged in gaming, is eventually your free time becomes so limited. If there's a game that's going to take like 80 hours to beat, usually I'm like, just pass. Go to the next game. It's just really fast and easy to play. But then I make occasionally like a game like Clone Evolution. Clone Evolution's one of those ones where I like turn-based strategy games like this, so that's where it hooked me right away. I was like, this reminds me of Final Fantasy a lot. So that's why I like it. But like I said, my like of this game will not last forever. Once we beat the campaign mode, then we should be moving on to a new game more full-time. Or a new project. We'll see if it's a game or not. I'm putting Entropia up there as my next possible big project, although I know Entropia also is very hard to get mainstream viewers. So technically I should really just do Entropia on the side and start more mainstream stuff. I can't just keep focusing on really obscure shit. Yeah, Civilization. Yeah, that's the thing, like, people say that you should keep the game discs for preservation purposes. But the thing is a lot of these consoles, you won't even be able to play them. Like, they said PS3's got that battery issue, so once the battery dies, your PS3's fucked. You'll never be able to play the games that you bought on physical media. They'll be useless. No one will be able to play them. Same with PS4, they put the internal battery into it. So really my PS4 is collecting dust on my shelf, and one day the battery's going to go on it, and I'll probably hardly have ever used it. There should have been some sort of realization where people should have been like, holy fuck, I'm boycotting these consoles until they fix that fucking battery issue. And when it comes to preservation for like older games, compared to like not PS3 or not PS4, like older shit, then most people just keep the ROM files. We really don't need like all these discs. You can just get a hard drive and keep like an entire console's library on just a hard drive, right? I know legality issues where people are supposed to collect all the discs, but I think the days of disc collecting are very numbered. Who knows, like maybe 30 years from now, so like our grandkids are going to be like into collecting discs. I doubt it, but maybe. Yeah, because that's really when you think about it. If you're going to collect something like game discs and stuff, you're going to be trying to sell it to people that are your grandkids' age. You got to think, are they really going to want to buy what you're trying to sell them? Like, that was the thing with Star Wars figures. Like, I should have realized that. Those Star Wars figures, 20, 30 years from now, people actually were going to want to buy them. There was some things that age well and some things don't. Like those Star Wars figures, it never matters like how old they get, you can still play with them. Or you can put up like them on display, set up a really cool display with them. I don't know what Switch games will get you in the future. You'll be able to look at it. Like, look, I used to play this disc. Back when we used to have disk drives. Back in my day, we used to buy drugs from gangs. Now we can just get them from the internet. From the government internet sites. Now I miss the good old days of gangs. I haven't really hung out with gangs much since the high school era. Used to be some wild parties. I was thinking about that. One of these days I might throw another wild party again and try to beat one that was as big as my gang days. Or when I used to invite gangs to come to my parties. I remember one time I made the mistake, well, I wouldn't call it a mistake. I invited two rival gangs to the same party. And they both came, and everyone was actually getting along well for quite a while. But it did eventually boil over to violence. But it did last for a while. People like, hey, we can get along. And I was like, no. Oh yeah, this battle's just kicking her ass. That's one thing you gotta remember, is animals have a really good memory, better than people would imagine. Because one time what happened was, is at one of those parties, one of the gang members picked an apple from my apple tree, or a pear. It was only small, like the size of a marble, because it hadn't grown much yet. But they took it and they threw it at the neighbor's dog, which wasn't nice. And guess what happened? The dog didn't like getting the apple or pear thrown at it so much, it never came to the edge of our fence ever again. It always just stood away because it was thinking someone was going to whip something at it. It was weird because it only happened once, but the animal remembered. I felt so bad because I used to like that dog, and I was like, man, I miss petting it. It's a shame that jackass threw the fucking pear at it. No, he was drunk, so he was kind of acting stupid. But I really shouldn't blame booze for that. Throwing shit at animals, especially a pet, isn't nice. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. These days, I've kind of gotten caught up in the ideas of like living in the past so much that I really should try to focus on more of the wild future to come, instead of getting too drawn up in the past. Well, the past is kind of nice some days, but really the future is where it's at. Yeah, I'm really looking for the Sober October month. Man, that's not even far away. Last time we did Sober October, it was like one of the greatest months of my life. So hopefully I can get back on track to that. No, the thing with weed, it's not that bad, but for me, I end up using it so much that it uses up a lot of my free time. So if I could just take weed and put it aside and don't touch it for like a whole month, that month I end up getting so much extra free time. The only issue that I hate with quitting weed is not being able to sleep properly. Oh, Noah Gaming Clan. He says he actually kept a copy of 3D Golf, or 3DS Golf. I think I actually have that one too, now that I think of it. Oh yeah, who was it? Augusto was saying the loot event helps a lot in collecting casino chips. Yeah, that's what I noticed. Like, fuck man, I got so low on casino chips. But the bounty hunter mission, that can turn that around mighty quick. Hey, he says it looks like Renegade X. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that Renegade X movie. It looks pretty sick. Yeah, I don't know how many more people are going to face that as time goes on. Like, how many generations are really starting to realize what's happening? I don't know. I first started to hear about it from celebrities when I would go to, like, conventions. And then I would hear celebrities talk about it, and I was like, what are they talking about? I haven't really noticed it in my life. And then as time went on, I was like, holy shit. That's actually one thing celebrities warned me about that actually came true. And what it was Gillian Anderson. If anyone knows Scully from X-Files, I guess the X-Files is a really obscure show these days. But anyways, yeah, the X-Files, popular TV show, one of the main actresses, or the main actress, when I met her at conventions, she was telling everyone that there's this issue going around, and she has it where she can't remember anything. And I was like, well, that's really weird because you're not really that old, right? Like, you're not even in your, well, I guess you would have been 50s maybe. But still, that's like really young to have like completely lost your memory. Yeah, and then eventually I started to hear other celebrities say it, like that they can't remember shit either. And no one's sure like what's causing it. They've talked to their doctors, they can't figure it out. And it's not like complete memory loss, but like this weird memory loss, whereas some things they just can't remember. So I was like, wow, that's fucked, right? Like people getting like dementia symptoms earlier and earlier. So now I'm starting to reach the age where I'm like in my 40s, and people that I know that are in their 50s and 60s now, they're all starting to get the dementia really early. So I don't know if science is going to be able to figure it out, but people are getting dementia like earlier and earlier and earlier. So I hope it doesn't reach the point where like people that are watching this show, like your kids' generation will be getting dementia in their 30s and 40s. Like that's really scary, right? Like dementia is fucked. You reach a point where you can't even feed yourself or dress yourself, and you're not even 50 or 60. Like it's not good, right? Not to freak people out, but it's like, yeah, I keep hearing that all the time now. So it's like, I don't know where all this memory issues are coming from. Yeah, that's why people make fun of Joe and his dementia problems, but then I was like, that actually probably helped a lot of people relate to him, because a lot of people, when they heard Trump or whoever make fun of dementia, they probably have like 5-6 relatives that they've seen suffer from dementia. So as soon as they got like that insult, they were like, holy shit, that like hit home. I know right when he started making fun of Joe Biden for it, that's pretty much when I turned against Trump. It's like I used to like him pretty much up until, well, I shouldn't say that point. Trump did a lot of annoying things. There was only a few things that I liked about him. His whole moon mission, that was kick-ass. The whole fucking agenda that we're not even allowed to talk about, the one where he's profiting from like medical procedures that we're not even allowed to mention on social media, like that whole shit, I was like, holy fuck, I want nothing more to do with this guy. And now that, yeah, he's got some other shit where he's making fun of people with dementia, like that's fucked. No, it's kind of like if someone was like a homeless person and then a president came up and he's like, you know that homeless person, I'm going to kick him in the ass and call him a loser. Be like, you know what? If you're going to do that to a homeless person, it's like, it's not really the type of person that I'd like to vote for. Not to saying dementia people are as bad as homeless or as hard off, but still, it's like the same philosophy, right? If you're going to pick on someone who's like at their low point, like, dear God, that's pretty low ball. That's where I kind of like, I try to judge people or not try to judge people as much, but normally when you see someone treat someone who's like in a rough situation, see how they treat them. I always try to observe too is how people treat their enemies, because I always think, man, like it doesn't really take much to get on people's nerves, and I do that a lot. So if I see someone who's like always pissed off at their enemies, I'd be like, I probably shouldn't hang out with this person because it's only a matter of time before they turn on me. No, if someone's like forgiving, and then I'll be like, hey, that person's like forgiving to all their enemies, and I'll be like, that's probably someone I want to hang out with, because I'm gonna fuck up a lot. Yeah, if people have like a short fuse, it's probably not gonna work out good. Yeah, we're doing some pretty good damage to this boss. Oh, we made it to round 50. Oh, the game froze. I was just about to skip it too. Son of a bitch. Alright, guess what I'll do is I'll close the game and reboot it. And we'll do the quick message from the patrons. Alright, so thanks again, Suki, Dan, Jim, Ray, Travis, and everyone else at Patreon. Really appreciate it. And let's check out the affiliate links while we're at it as well. Patreon, which we just mentioned, Society 6. Finishing quick is my specialty. Comes on t-shirts, bed sheets, both popular with the ladies. Hideout TV. Pays you to watch videos, swag bucks to shop, GameKit to try games. And free Bitcoin is that wallet system for crypto. It's also for BetFury if you want to use crypto and lots of different currencies. BetFury is one of the best for that one. And BetFury just made some weird announcement that they're going to start doing some more marketing to get their tokens worth even more. So that's what you win when you do any of the gambling on BetFury. But just remember that all these offers, you have to follow all of the regional laws and make sure you're not a gambling addict if you're getting involved with free Bitcoin and all that. Because dear God, yeah, that's like a nightmare for gambling addicts. But anyways, yeah, so the virtual mate sex machine, it's for adults and men only, but ladies need a sex machine. They know who to call. I've been working out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm in Canada. Our lives are fucked. Just kidding. No, anyways, yeah, it's not so bad in Canada. $10 off on a purchase of $150 or more with the coupon code below, thanks to the people at Virtual Mate. Hopefully we can work together in the future again soon. Oh, that was creepy. Let's go back to the game. Ah. No, and then some people that are making fun of Joe Biden's dementia, I never even realized it, but I forget whose show it was. Maybe it was Joe Rogan's show, one of the other shows. But anyways, oh yeah, it was another show. But anyways, what happens is what is it, Joe Biden? He has one of those earpieces in a lot. And if people don't know what those earpieces are, a lot of times it's someone telling you what to say. So what happens is if that earpiece is telling you what to say, and you're actually talking at the same time, sometimes you start getting your words scrambled. Because you're like, oh shit, I was supposed to be saying this, and now they're telling me to say that, and oops, I said this. So once you start getting that earpiece shit going on, it can actually make it sound like you have dementia worse, just because you're getting told what to say and you're not really paying attention if it makes sense or not. I know it's happened to me because I've had to do call center work where you're talking to someone and then you're talking to other people, and it's like it gets really confusing quick, right? Even if you don't have dementia. So I know all of Joe Biden's dementia incidents probably aren't that all of them, but I think a lot are. And the reason why Trump didn't look like he had dementia, because he didn't use that earpiece stuff. So he would just say whatever he wants. He didn't have someone telling him what to say. So that was really the difference, what made Trump popular. Like, holy fuck, this is like one of the first leaders in a while who isn't just repeating what other people are telling him what to say. Good or worse, or better or worse. Oh yeah, that's what reminds me. I wanted to check the event center. Yeah, they really gave us nothing new. Fuckers. Yeah, let me check. We got 356 of these fists. And we've done 100. So that'd be 4, 70? Holy shit. We could get close to this. Think we should go for it? Alright, well, let's do a couple. Pump it up a little at least. No, because I've watched like the stages of dementia progress for various family members. And for Joe Biden's age and that level of dementia, they do say that some people can progress differently, but normally it's a pretty fast decline. Like if he really had dementia that bad already, he wouldn't last like a year. So I really don't think he has dementia that bad. If anything, it's just him and that wire piece that's fucking him up. He's having trouble reading it or listening to instructions and repeating shit at the same time. Alright, that was good rewards. Yeah, and it makes you wonder, like, when your president has an earpiece in his ear and someone's telling him what to say, who is that person? Someone that he's hired, I guess? He's like, hey man, can I hire you to tell me what to say? So I'm not so good at thinking for myself, so if you can just repeat everything I need to say into this headset, we'll be good. Now, it can work to your advantage, right? Like, if you're really good at listening to that headset, you can start getting facts like it's coming from the Borg. It'll be like the Borg is just telling you everything you need to know, everything you need to say. Let's hope Biden isn't talking to the Borg. Can you imagine the Borg is already controlling us? Hey, Noah's saying that he uses Tiberium. That's pretty wild. Now, I think a lot of the politicians these days, they probably do get most of their orders from like world entities. Like we've seen how different like world entities have controlled this whole event that occurred recently. Oh, and that was kind of funny. You know, the agency we're not allowed to disagree with and not even allowed really to talk about. So that agency, that's the one that they were thinking about hiring someone to investigate where this whole thing began. And they're like, wait a minute, we can't hire these people because they're actually the #1 suspects. I was like, yeah, you think? It's like you were actually going to hire the #1 suspect to do the investigation. But thank God they actually realized that. They even posted in the media. They're like, yeah, we kind of have to investigate this and we kind of have to hire someone else who's not the prime suspect. So I was like, thank God. Maybe one day we'll be able to talk about it. Yeah, but that whole world organization that's going through all that, you start to see how it's like these world organizations are pretty fucked once they start getting a hold of you and all your human rights. And so I can see why different countries want to keep their own laws and say, hey, anyone else who wants to try to control our country's laws can go fuck themselves, right? Kind of miss those days. Oh well, at least we got the 4 plants out of the deal. I figure if we're going to lose all our human rights, at least we got some plants. How many countries lost all their human rights and didn't get jack shit? Yeah, some people talk about the New World Order and stuff, but for me, I kind of wonder if it's the creator. Like, the people talk about the legends, about how the creator of the universe, he had this giant plan. So I look at a lot of this stuff, I'm like, yeah, it does kind of seem like some fucked up plan. Like, I really don't think everything's just happening by accident. If everything was random and happening at accident, wouldn't it be weird? I don't know if anyone's heard about the moon accident, and scientists are baffled at how it occurred. No, they said what it is that the moon and the sun are obviously very different sizes, right? But for some weird coincidence, they're the exact right distances away that they appear the same size on Earth, depending what time of day it is. But they say if you go to other planets, that's actually not the case. They said it's actually very rare for a planet and the sun to actually look the same, or the moon look the same size. So what they're thinking it is, it's almost like the Earth has been fine-tuned. Like someone actually tuned it like a guitar so that it can play the right notes. So that's what we have, is evidence of fine-tuning. So when people think that there's some like world order that's trying to control everyone, I'm like, sounds kind of neat, but I more think about the overall plan. These world order guys can't control anything about what the creator wants to do. So that's why I think we don't really have to worry too much about the world orders or whatever, but it does seem like that a little. Yeah, it's probably half and half, right? It's half of those world order guys and half the creator fucking us. Now, that's why I think in humans, the more and more we get advanced with creating holograms, that's when we're going to start to understand the Earth. Because they're going to realize, oh fuck, now that we know how to build this, we can start to understand why this does that. It's kind of like when you take different classes in high school. It's like you learn about some like electricity and how to hook up wires. And you go to math class and you figure all the math formulas about why the circuits work. So it's like a lot of different things connect once you start learning different disciplines. So if we start learning new disciplines like creating holograms, we'll be like, holy shit. This discipline applies to how our Earth has all these mysteries we're trying to figure out. Oh yeah, I was supposed to get back out and check how many we got. Yeah, that's still a mile away. Yeah, the Halo hologram's pretty good. I was thinking the Princess Leia hologram, she was really hot too. Now I think the same thing with hologram technology. First it'll be porn, then it'll probably expand to sports, and who knows what after that. Video games, yeah. That's how it usually goes. Porn, sports, video games, and then it'll start going mainstream like TV and movies. Now, I don't even think holograms are that difficult to make, but the only thing is, it's going to be one of those space requirements. Some rich people will be able to buy giant holograms, and other people will probably just get little desktop versions. I'm thinking I want to get the coffee table edition, where your entire coffee table is a giant hologram machine. Because most people have enough room for a coffee table, right? I know some studio apartments might be a small coffee table, but still. Yeah, coffee tables are really going to be the video game of the console of the future. It'll hook up to your TV. It'll project holograms out of your fucking coffee table. It'll probably run in sync with your TV and in sync with your Google Home. So you'll be like, Google Home, turn on my fucking hologram of the UFC match. So the UFC match will play on your TV. Then a fucking hologram will pop out of your fucking coffee table, and you'll be able to like scroll through the hologram and watch the fight in different angles or replays while it plays live on your TV. Because that's what I was thinking. A lot of times when you watch UFC, you're always waiting for them to like make some clip reel and show the knockout in slow motion. In the future, you'll just like get like a fucking hologram, and you'll be able to make and watch your own replay in any angle you want. Won't just be limited to whatever they edited. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised we got stuck on TVs for as long as we did, right? Like when you think about it, these TVs that we're watching and playing games on are like, is a screen technology. Like, when was the first screen invented? 1920s or something, probably. It's like, dear God, we're still using screens? Still can't believe we haven't upgraded. Well, I guess we tried the upgrade to VR, but VR was basically just taping screens to your eyes. So we really need something better. Augmented reality is the next closest. Augmented reality is kind of neat, but I still don't want to wear glasses. Boom. Man, we just can't beat Alice, eh? We're just gonna have to skip this one. Because we're gonna be stuck at her forever. She never dies. Bitch. Oh, she's at half health. Let's try it again and see if they'll just give us the victory. Fuck. Ah, she's at even more health. Witch. Yes, we got the victory. Isn't that funny? I was thinking the skip trick might work. I was going to give up too. Thankfully we didn't. Alright, fucking A. Even without Suzo, we made it right into the fucking final team battle. How's that been for fucking progress? Wow. We beat Alice. Holy fuck, I had it on auto battle and we won with the victory. Yes. I did not see that gold chest coming today. That was epic. All the viewers that helped cheer me on for that one, that was good job. We fucking did it. Alright, now we finally have Suzo back. So we don't have to deal with that bullshit. The no Suzo bullshit. Alright, let's go. Where are we going? Westward ho. Yeah, augmented reality is kind of neat, but it reminds me too much of VR. I was like, I don't like VR. I don't think I'm going to like augmented reality that much. Holograms are, I'm pretty sure, the only thing that's really going to catch my eye as like some new technology that I really want to invest in. Like, I already tried VR too. Like, I have the PlayStation VR, so it's not like I didn't try it. I gave it a chance. It's pretty good for tours. I want to make actually some VR tours, but it's definitely not the technology of the future that I would want to watch everything on. Who knows? Maybe we actually will see holodecks in our lifetime. Because God, if we actually start getting good with like, what is it, coffee table holograms, eventually someone will just make a whole room. No, I was thinking Clone Evolution would be a good game for holograms. Because the way that like the heroes are battling each other, you could just show like holograms of heroes on a coffee table. And you would be able to look at them on any angle. Oh yeah, that reminds me of the coin flip game. I should teach that to my nephews. They might already know it. Yeah, won't be able to keep this episode going too much later. It's already almost 2 here. I gotta go to bed. So we'll let a couple more matches go. Yeah, when you think about it, the last stream that I did was at like 4 a.m. yesterday. So it's almost like 24 hours ago. 22 as of right now. Feels like I'm doing 2 episodes in one day. Well, technically I am. Now, I used to try to do an hour for each game that I played each day, but it was just too much gaming. I can't really dedicate 2 hours a day for gaming so much. Alright, we're getting really close to the end. Boom. There we go. Yeah, I guess we'll give one final shout out to the buddy from our guild that passed recently. Yeah, and shout out prayers to his family and his friends, because I know they're probably going to be missing him badly for quite a while. Alright, let's see here. We'll bring up a picture. Yeah, so there's our Discord group, and we were talking about how he passed today. I was saying that it's sorry to hear. He said that my brother used this Discord, and he was just letting us know that he passed. And it says due to blood loss. So it's weird, because I could have swore he was already done the blood loss stuff, but maybe they were still working on some surgeries, I guess. No, I was just looking back. The last time we talked to him, where was it? Wasn't even that long ago. Yeah, let's hope it's not a prank. Well, I guess it would be nice if it was a prank at this point. No, see, that's the last we heard from him. He said here's his leg and his recovery. So it's really sad to hear that he didn't make it through his recovery. He was still in a lot of pain, though, so hey, if you're going to live in a life of pain, maybe it almost is better to be into the afterlife. Depending how severe the pain is, I guess. Yeah, so that's when we last heard from him. June the 13th, and he said he was going to get some more rest. Oh, I feel bad. The last thing I said to him is hopefully the pain lessens. At least I said I was praying for him. Yeah, so poor guy. Well, really life is a cycle. We gotta try not to get too beat up about people coming and going, because no one's here forever, eh? We just get caught up in the idea that we are. Yeah. Yeah, it is really sad, eh? Makes you realize like how precious life is and can be gone in an instant. You really never know. No, hopefully it's not a prank, but for as far as we know, that is what happened to him. And from what I remember, I think he mentioned something about being in Iraq, but I could be wrong. Oh, Noah said he wants to join the Discord link, so I'll grab it. No, the Discord link is one of those ones where it always needs refreshing. So I can't really give out the link or it's just gone after a while. So let me grab it right now. Just go to invite people, copy the link, and I'll put it in the chat. Pretty sure it'll stay there. It'd be funny if YouTube censored it. Yeah, I can set it to a permalink, but the link will break. The link will break within, I forget how many hours. I think they said 2 hours or something. So the link will work on the link that you can make, but just not for very long. I think they said they do it to try to avoid spamming or bots. Because it does make it harder to give out the link. Oh, I copied the wrong one. Sorry. Lelanders Gaming. Invite people. It says copy. Oh, it says it expires in 7 days. Let's try it again. Oh, there it is. Yeah, for some reason the other one didn't copy and paste when I did it. Dum-de-dum-dum. Alright, so our team's still doing okay. It's cool. I like it. Like it a lot. Yeah, so if everyone wants to give that guy a shout out to his family, saying praying for them or whatnot. Man, it's really sad. No, that's what I was thinking, man. Sometimes our guild is like, holy, it feels like it is falling apart. People dying, people quitting the game. The whole world is falling apart. But we gotta remember, like, that's how the world works, right? One day the earth will be gone for us, and hopefully we'll be moving on to a whole new realm of exciting hot babes. No, just kidding. I don't know. The only time I've ever seen the Immortals or things that could be immortal, they didn't really look like the funnest entities to transform into. So I think we're actually pretty lucky to enjoy humanity while we can. I don't think they have genders. Yeah, you ever wonder that? Like the angels from the Bible? I think they're transgender, right? Like they can turn into males or females. So that's a weird thing. Once you become an angel in heaven, there is no genders anymore. So that's why you're kind of lucky in Earth while we still have genders. Or some people do. Oh, Noah said his allergies are acting up. Yeah, this allergy season's been on record, I think, as one of the worst in this region. We literally had like floods of pollen just going down the street. I'd never seen pollen just like collect on the streets before. That was weird. Yes, gold chest again. Now I'm just gonna check and see what our gold or purple chest or purple clone situation's like. Oh yeah, that's a good situation. Yep, we're up to 71. It's not too bad. I'd like to get that up to a whole bunch in time for the next one, but hey, we'll have Freya already, so be no big deal. Holy shit, we almost got 50 of Elizabeth. That'll be good. We're just gonna interest sake check. Did we finish Elizabeth? Can't remember if we finished her off. Yeah, we did. We still need a bison. Now, really my goal is to make every hero in the game, but obviously some of these ones I just won't get. Lilith, I'll probably never make her. Yeah, just one more gold to make for that guy. Alright, so let's give a shout out to everyone in the chat. Today was Augusto, Joel, Noah Gaming Clan, and I think that's everyone, and me. I was even in the chat. So big shout out of applause to everyone, except me. I want to clap for myself. That'd just be weird. Good job, you. Or me. You did well. It's like the people that like their comments on Facebook. It just seems so weird, eh? It's like you had to get that extra like in there, didn't you? Ooh, two DNA strands. Holy fuck, what was I doing in the game? I didn't do any of the missions. Lazy ass. No, that's what I should do. I should like dislike all my posts. Like, man, that jackass, look what he wrote today. Boo! Alright, let's go. Ordinary clone, arena challenge, tavern tasks. Jeez, advanced clone. We didn't do shit today. Yeah, it's going to be free. This one won't be free, so we'll just do one now. Yeah, that was a really shitty draw. Shitty shit. Alright, ordinary clone, arena challenges, tavern tasks, hand to Midas, holy shit, dungeon. You gotta be shitting me. Did I do anything? Now I can finish these ones quick. Show them how quick. Oh, sorry, Nick. We battled Nick there for a second. I try to battle the people in my guild. I know they're easy to beat. No, I'm just kidding. And now we see why I have no one in my guild. Oh, we just died. We deserved that. That was totally karma. Should be more coming. Alright, let's see. Tavern, ordinary clone. Consume a hero. Yeah, let's consume the hero. Why not? I seen a whole bunch that I was liking. Yeah. 22. Holy shit. He found an old Star Wars game and he says he has the Darth Sidious card. Sounds like a rare one. Darth Sidious. Yeah, I think with Reddit, I actually do like them too. Because with Reddit, you need the points in order to get it up the ladder or whatever. So whatever points you can use it to help get it up a ladder, why not? Although I kind of got a dislike for Reddit when they started to get so strict about sharing. So I was like, hey man, if I can't even share on Reddit, what the fuck am I here for? So then I just quit using it. It's like every group I would join, you can't share your own material. And then I noticed even when you create your own group, you're not allowed to share your own material in that either. Even if you created it. I was like, what the fuck? So I guess if I ever want to share my own material, it won't be on Reddit. People are like, oh, get someone else to share it. Well, yeah, that's nice. You can ask people, but it's kind of nice to have it all in one spot, right? So people can find your archive and just listen to it. Oh, well. Alright, so Monk made it up to 212. That was good. I think that should help the rest of our team. Let's check it out. Everyone's still at 211. What the fuck? Oh, Suzo and Tengu. They're the two weak links. We got to get them higher. We'll do that next episode. Alright, so next episode is going to be the episode with Freya. I think this will be the last one where we didn't have Freya in the team. So who knows? We might actually put a dent in the dungeon. Let's give the dungeon one legitimate try. See if we can beat it. Holy shit, we made it up to 5 likes. Thanks, everyone. Ah, the Lightsabers card game. Now, I used to be a little bit more up to date with all the memorabilia for Star Wars when I was going to the conventions, but I haven't been in quite a few years now. I went on a streak of going every year for like 20 years, and then I got injured and didn't go again. And then the pandemic, and I shouldn't really call it a pandemic, the declaration of a pandemic. Alright. Yeah, sorry I can't play it for everyone. I know we just got the most viewers and now I gotta go. It's almost 2 a.m. But yeah, let's bring up the fire screen. Alright, thanks everyone. If you happen to get any... Let's see... Let's go with Catholic Hero. If you happen to get any of the Catholic Hero fragments in your vaporizer, tastes like shit, give the show a dislike. That was my fan, not my vaporizer. Well, if it doesn't happen, you can give the show a like. Really appreciate it. Just make sure you never buy the products from my sponsor.
Because it will ruin your life. Bye for now, everyone. See you later.
Later. Bye. Later. Alright, see you everyone. Good luck. Hopefully you can tune in for the Freya episode